How's everybody going? How's everybody doing? Well, an update. What's going on with the virus and what's going on with um, just the cases that are going on. You know, it's just, I'm telling you, it has reached planet for the virus. Yes, there's some of you that I still have not been able to reach your comments. We have a terrible situation with the systems down. Those of you who have paid for readings, and I'm going back a few weeks and a few months, please um, let me know who you are again, and let me do another alternative to answering the questions, because let me tell you, it has been rough with we've been having signal problems. I'm in the country, deep country, and there's been a storm here, a tornado. Just been, you know, another silent situation. But don't you worry. Don't you worry. We are going to have a wonderful discussion today, Sunday, and we are going to talk to prepare for the paid subscription. The paid subscription, which means that we are going to be able to um, give you content that it's so specialized and so different and so frightening and so exclusive and so secret society, Illuminati kind of stuff, that I will not be able to do those videos on YouTube the way I do my 25-minute videos. So that's one thing. Another thing that I want to talk about is that because we have the country at a shutdown, at a standstill, it's actually very difficult to even keep track of the week. I don't know when it's Monday. I don't know when it's Tuesday, Sunday. You know, the days just bleed into one another. Right? So, what do we do in situations like this? Well, we got to keep ourselves, clean. We got to keep ourselves spiritually intact. Okay? I myself like to do my prayers. I do my psalms. Then I do my spiritual baths. And that's when I'll be able to get into a place where I am very firm with what I need and firm with what I want. Right? So I want to extend that to you. Read Psalm 109, 107. If you feel afraid and feel fearful, read Psalm number 7. Read them at night and read them after 7 p.m. Psalm 23, Psalm 91, and Psalm 90 should be read in the morning before you get up. And drink a glass of water. Bless the water as you drink it after you finish the psalm. Okay, everybody? Oh! You know, it's my elevator. It just got, And, when I do these spiritual baths and I'm dressing white, it's supposed to be a holy, but it makes me more sensual. The Virgo. My Lilith is in Taurus, what can I say? How's everybody? And of course, my Irish cream, I know it sounds but fuck it. Sometimes, you gotta give the spirits a little something. Today, oh yes, let me marinate that one. Yeah, I know, I'm drinking in the raw today. Well, today we're going to discuss the origin of humanity. The origin of humanity is not beginning with Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden by the Euphrates River, like we're taught in Sunday school or in parochial school or Catholic school or the private religion or Sectarian versus the non-sectarian schools and universities that teach this information, including the Vatican and the seminary schools. But in the secret society, where the sacred knowledge that's hidden, you're going to find a totally different truth, a totally different reality of what we've been taught, and even Darwinism. Here's the situation with Atlantis did exist. Wait. You know what? Before I begin, right? Let me jump in and discuss what you need um, concerning um, background information. Background information. How do I even begin? I had everything in order to discuss it, but then when the spirit, when the spirit takes over, you know, well, everything goes out the window. Everything goes out the window. Now, I have been under spiritual attack. When you're a public figure, people come at you from all different directions. Witchcraft. A lot of people throw witchcraft at me. And heavy, deep witchcraft. But I'm a fighter. I'm what they call el brujo guerrillero, which again serves me well, having been born with an Aries moon. So I'm up for the fight. Sometimes you have no choice. That explains the loss of my rings and a couple of jewelry, because the witchcraft was powerful. But there's no greater fortitude than that of the human spirit. Because when you are right with God and you're doing God's work, the devil is going to come at you. So, like I tell everybody, and I want you to really take this to heart, life is 25% what happens to you and 75% how you respond. Remember, this is the great illusion. None of this is real. This ain't real. I'm not real. The personality and ego of Fernando is not real, because it's going to die. And it'll be nothing but another collection of ego memories for the soul to carry into the next incarnation. So when it says in the Bible to, if your hands find something to do do it to the best of your might. Because there is no compensation or reward in the grave where we're going. Because ultimately, what is to be a doctor? What is to be a president? What is to be... all of that is glorification of the ego. Because we're not going to take that anywhere. But maybe we will. No? Understand that the human condition is heading a particular direction. Perhaps I can illustrate if I do a little visualize. If I can find it. Okay, here we go. Them drums and them timbales, it's like you're in Africa doing it. Oh God. All right. Let's let's say that the let's say that we were created as okay. You know what? Let me read some of your comments. Okay. All right. Uh huh. Uh huh. Those trees are soothing to look at. Yes, they are. You know me, I'm a nature boy. I love my trees and my plants. No, and it's so interesting that I live in a city called Plant City. You can't make this stuff up, you know. But as you can see, I look so much better. I feel healthy. I look good and strong. The air here is wonderful. And I am in tune with every single tree that surrounds me. And there are 28 different species of trees. Anyway, going back to Atlantis. But before we do, oh, the moon in Aries here, Jerry, and Sun in Scorpio. Yes, nature is healing. Nature is healing. Nature falls under, of course, the dominion of Taurus, fixed earth. Our trees and plants and minerals, all that, and the oceans and everything that is within the earth is symbolized by the sign of Taurus. The ruler, which is Venus. Okay. Dr. Sharifa Garby, don't forget to call me. Well, send me your number so I can call you. Okay, text it to me. Yes, I am in Florida, Jerry. Gloria, Atlanteans went to vacations and what? Let me see what you guys really know about Atlantis. Atlanteans went to Vasconia and Northern Africa. That is correct. That is correct. Oh my God, I was thinking about you today. Oh, thank you, Carlos, 7-Eleven. Thank you, Jerry. You're amazing too. All right. Doing tarot reading. Tarot readings. Yes, I do tarot reading. You know, I don't. It's not meant for me to do super chat. Do what you guys usually do. Send your $20 to my PayPal, and I have your questions. I'll try to answer your questions now, and then you pay on PayPal. Let's see if we can do that. I'm gonna take 25 minutes of this live cast to do that. So I can answer your question now live versus you having to submit it because that seems to be easier. So we're going to do this a little differently. We are going to answer your questions right here on the air. You know, and depending on who contributes first, those are the ones that I'm going to choose first. How are you? How are you, Gloria? Um, I live close to Plant City. Well, you know, you can contact me or I can talk to my girlfriend, so like that, and see if she is willing to allow get people to come in to get readings live, or you know, arrange it where we can come to you and read you, or you can come to us. You know, if you live near Plant City, okay. Alrighty. All right. Who else? Who else? Who else? Uh, I just got a big fist fight today ago. Wait, 2 days ago. You had a fist fight 2 days ago. With whom? I just got a fist fight 2 days ago. Do these have anything to do with Saturn? I'm not usually confrontational. Now, you're probably going through a Mars transit, or there's a midpoint being affecting your chart that's causing that. But back to Atlantis. A lot of people have questions about it. Did Atlantis really exist? Yes, Atlantis did exist. Was it in the Atlantic Ocean? Yes, which is why the ocean that's between South America and North American continent and that of Africa and Northern Europe, that is the Atlantic. That is the Atlantic Ocean. Wait a minute. Let me take it back. North South America, that body of water, okay, that separates Europe and the Americas, that's the Atlantic Ocean. It's called Atlantic for a reason. It's called Atlantic for a reason. There was a continent there. And this has been confirmed by seismologists and by geologists and people who are involved in the aquatic oceanographic fields. Also, our planetary grid, the Earth's planetary grid, okay, that has also evidence that there was something there, that there was a body of water there, right? A body of land there. Now, it's interesting that I'm talking about witchcraft, and I started talking about witchcraft. In order for me to talk about Atlantis, I need to talk about witchcraft. Witchcraft came from Atlantis. Yeah. Witchcraft was the way. Witchcraft and the dark forces of nature, magicians, sorcerers. You might think this is fiction. You might think that this is a fabric of people's imagination. Magic is real. Witchcraft is real. Magic is real. And you have lower forms of magic and you have higher forms of magic. Let me tell you, the Germans, the Russians, they are very big on witchcraft and clairvoyance and the occult. And they know far more than they are letting you know as a nation, as nations. How do you think Germany was able to conquer the world twice? Twice. Germany had to be divided into East and West Germany because as a unified nation, Germany was too powerful. It caused the world to go into a war twice. But what you don't know about the race of the tribe that are now today the Germans, as well as the Russians and the other Slavic races, is that they have connections to star beings. Just like the African race and the other so-called indigenous races, including the Native American races, also have connections with star beings and extraterrestrial beings. How is this possible? And why isn't this explained in the human story? Well, it actually was. It actually was. And there was a time in our planetary history where you had extraterrestrial beings coming from different planetary systems conjoining on Earth and making Earth the platform for, let's say, meetings. Do you guys remember Star Trek? Star Trek. Remember, and I'm talking about the new one, the new generation with Whoopi Goldberg, Picard. Remember that? They're telling you something. Gene Roddenberry, the creator of Star Trek, is also a member of the club. And you have to understand that these very wealthy, highly powerful white men are connected to secrets, not because they've earned it or because they've inherited it. I ain't gonna go too much in there, but let me just say that they have tapped into access to ancient information that to us, it makes science fiction look like pussy. You think Star Trek Battlestar Galactica of the 80s, Blade Runner of the 90s with Harrison Ford, even the old ones. You know what? Let me go even further back and even get more ridiculous. The cartoon, The Jetsons, for those of you who are in my generation. Do you remember The Jetsons? It was a cartoon. But that cartoon, if I tell you the name of the creator of The Jetsons, which was actually hosted by MGM, you have to understand that they are telling you some shit in those cartoons. They're telling you shit. They're telling you some shit. I'll give you another example, which is even more ridiculous and in your face, stupid in your face that they're telling you shit. Oh, the beat. Da ba da ba ba ba. Da 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 ba ba. I'm 52 years old, but I can still move. Oh, God. They're talking to me, and they're directing me. Okay, say this, say that, but no. Damn. Oh, wait. Pasa a ti. ¿Qué se pasa a ti? Oh, Ismael Rivera. Juicy to hear now. ¿Qué te pasa a ti? Oh, yeah. I wish I could get up and just dance, but I can't. It grabs me. Ow. All right. Enough grandstanding. Okay. That cartoon that I'm telling you, that is ludicrous. The Flintstones. Do you remember the Flintstones? Well, you might not remember the Flintstones, and you might not know the Flintstones because I'm 52 years old, right? So I don't know if you guys watch the Flintstones. I don't think it's even on. But check it out, the Flintstones. The Flintstones, the Jetsons, they're telling you the real fucking deal of what really was going on. The Flintstones, remember the spaceling guy that followed Fred Flintstone? He was called Fred Dum Dum. Remember? That was an extraterrestrial. Don't you see that? And they're telling you in the cartoon that it was because these space beings came to the Stone Age, where the Flintstones, the Stone Age, where man was primitive and basic and psychic in nature. No intellect was formed at the time. Just emotional and inner intuition and psychic ability. That was the actual faculty of mankind at the time in man's early history. It was the extraterrestrials that came here and actually advanced mankind by splitting his DNA, infusing it with theirs, and creating a hybrid, which today is the human being that we see today. Yes, and I know that it sounds fucking crazy, but if you talk to a geneticist, he's going to tell you that our DNA, 2% of our DNA is decoded. There's 98% of DNA material in our DNA structure that is unknown, that is connected to other types of protein matters that is unknown to carbon matter here on this planet. It is in our DNA. It's telling you that we are more than just the human that we see when we look at ourselves in the mirror. There is something else going on here. We have been genetically spliced and tampered. This is the concept of the serpent coming to man and saying, Jehovah says that if you eat of the tree of life, you will die. Oh no, you're not going to die. You're going to live forever. The serpent tells Eve that Jehovah is lying. Well, of course he is, our demiurge. So like I said, the serpent in the Garden of Eden is not the bad guy. He's the good guy. trying to warn man, the emerging mankind, of the designs of Jehovah of keeping men enslaved. And therefore, the serpent, which is seen in every human culture, anthropologically speaking and historically speaking, suggests the same situation from one culture to another. Well, who the fuck is this serpent that came and alerted mankind of the devices and designs of Jehovah, who tried to keep us encased in matter? So obviously, there's a war going on among interplanetary beings that are here trying to influence mankind in his early development. This is depicted in Genesis and is letting you know that there was a battle going on between interplanetary beings trying to disrupt, for some reason, the emerging evolution of mankind. Which is why, when in the Bible we learn that we have guardian angels that protect us. It's in 1 John, and it's in Revelation, it's in Matthew, that we are protected by guardian angels. But why do we need protection from guardian angels for? What is it that's so dangerous that human beings cannot exist on this planet without guardian angels to protect every single human being here? That also has a history. There was a time in early man's history where there were no guardian angels or beings that would protect us. That occurred after the destruction of Atlantis. Okay? The destruction of Atlantis changed everything. I'm sorry, I'm salivating, but this, my PayPal is www.paypal.me, as in me, myself, and I, M-E, / The People's Astrologer. One word, The People's Astrologer, no apostrophe. That's my link. And thank you for your donation. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I kindly appreciate it. I will be doing this most of the night, so keep it coming so Uncle Fernando can have a nice dinner and take care of my shit, and I will be all night giving you specialized content. This is what I'm going to be doing all Sunday tonight after my dinner break, and then I'm going to go back to my computer and answer more of your questions. Whether you mean what you meant to send it or not, that's the link. So let us go back to the question of witchcraft. Okay? Let's go back to the question of witchcraft. Witchcraft, you have to understand that man was primitive in spirit. Man didn't know that he had spirit. Man didn't know that he had a soul. Man was animal. Club a woman in the head and pull her by the hair and throw her in the bed, fuck her, and then throw her in the kitchen and she would cook. Man was primitive. He was animal. Which is why the zodiac, which means a zoo, represents animals, for the exception of Gemini, the twins, Virgo, the woman, and Aquarius, the water bearer. Those are the three human figures in the zodiac. But the rest of the zodiac symbols are animals, for the exception of Libra, which is an inanimate object, the scales. Balance between the animal nature of emergent man and then the godhood that is ultimately to be the destiny of mankind. We come into this planet as animals with animal instincts and an animal nature. That's why it is called the zodiac, which is the zoo animals. We are here to transcend the animal in us, the lower nature within us, so that we can become as gods. It is written in the book of Genesis. Hence, these are the archons, the lower Elohim, the lesser gods talking. talking to each other. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? Let me quote it from the Bible for you, all right? King James. Let me quote it from the Bible. Now, all of this ties into Atlantis. All of it. All of it. But it's done in different parts and pieces. So let us go to Genesis and let us discuss these passages. Kaling, that's all. The devil's a liar. He knows I got the Bible holy, white, but he puts that fire in me. You know, it's all right. I try to figure it out. All right, Joshua, Samuel, 2 Samuel, 2 Kings. 2 Kings is very good. 2 Chronicles, 1st and 2nd Chronicles, 1st and 2nd Corinthians, 1st and 2nd Kings. Tells you some shit. And in my paid subscription, I am going to have a detailed motherfucking breakdown of the Bible. The breakdown of the Bible. What the books mean, who's Esther, who's Enoch, and how are they connected to us, to humanity, and what are the descendants and the bloodlines and the lineages. It's powerful information that have been kept from the masters forever. Here we go. Let's go to Genesis. Okay? Leviticus is another very good book. You know, the 5 books of Moses is the Torah of the Jews. So you know. See, that's a lot that don't tell you. You know, it's a shame. It's a damn. The book of Numbers. The book of Numbers, in the Holy Bible, the book of Numbers, it tells you all about numerology, and it tells you all about the astrological forces that the numbers describe. It's right here, guys. It's in the Bible. It tells you in your fucking face. You think the preachers and ministers and pastors and deacons would discuss these passages, discuss these verses. But no, they had to take a vow when they went into seminary school that these books and these passages are not to be discussed. Okay? That's why the church hates me, because I'm putting them on blast. But I still love the church in my own way. In my own way. I do. In my own way. You know? But the church era is over. The Piscean age is coming to a close. Thank God! Thank God! We've had enough bullshit for 2,500 years of bullshit. So finally, we get some kind of truth as we herald the Aquarian age and get rid of all this nonsense. Now, here we go. You know, if I look for it now, I will look for it. And I will show it to you verse by verse, where it says that the archons, the lesser Elohim, became scared. They became scared when the serpent tried to alert man of his own divinity. And what did the gods say to each other when man ate from the tree of knowledge? He didn't eat from the tree of life, he ate from the tree of knowledge. What did the gods say? Hence, men ate from the tree of knowledge. If they eat from the tree of life, they should become as one of us, as gods. And what did the gods do? They took man and woman out of the garden and clothed them with coats of skin. The beginning of carbon matter. The beginning of man's enslavement into carbon matter. This is the concept that the church calls the fall of man. Notice that the church doesn't go into details about that. What are the details about that? Because we all know that the devil is in details. Right? The fall of man did not occur because of man's own fault. Man was just curious and was interested in reaching his own understanding of who he was. It was Jehovah, the demi-edging god of this solar system, which delayed man's evolutionary progress. Why and for what reason is not yet clear. But what is clear is that Jehovah, the God of this solar system, of our world, the ruler of the form, including our material and carbon matter, is here to whip us into shape. Jehovah is Satan. This carbon matter is demonic and wicked because it is imperfect and it will die. So does that mean, so you know what that means? Now here's the shocker. Here's the shocker. The God that we pray to, that we get on our knees and pray to, is no more perfect than we are. If we were made in his image and in his likeness, and we're so cloaked with sin and imperfection, then what the fuck does that tell you about our own creator who made us? That he too is imperfect, just like we are. As above, so below. Think about it. It's deep. It's deep. This God has feelings, has anger, has emotions, has all the faculties and vicissitudes of the human emotions that we possess. As above, so below. Think about this shit I'm telling you. Jehovah is not a saint. The Old Testament gives you evidences of this God being murderous. Don't we have that in our own hearts? As above, so below. Oh, el ingrata se a la pata, quema la pata, trampolín. El gran combo de Puerto Rico. Oh my God. Las sillas se van a las pistas a bailar. Uy. Para. You ought to know how much the beat just grabs me. It's like heroin. Oh Lord, sorry, bad analogy. Delicious. Uy, trampolín de tu amor, mujer ingrata. The human condition is as mysterious as our Creator. And Atlantis has a lot to do with the missing pieces of humanity. And we're done. Wait for part 2.